Well, hello again to all the boys and girls out there in YouTube land watching Georgia Beer Reviews. Back at you today with another one. What I'm looking at is a beer from Equilibrium Brewery out of Middletown, New York. This is the MC Cubed. It's a triple IPA clocking in at 10% ABV. I've never had it before. I have had a lot of beers from Equilibrium. They've been pretty good for the most part. Doesn't really say anything about the actual beer on the label. This beer was gifted to me from Mr. Bumpy Road Brews, so thank you, Bumpy, for giving me this one. Link to his channel in the description below, so if you haven't already, go check him out, sub him up, tell him John and Ellie sent you. Okay, let's go ahead and get into this thing. All right, kind of a semi-bright orange color. Not as bright as some of the juicy IPAs I've had recently, but still relatively bright orange color. 1.5 finger, relatively creamy looking, slightly off-white head. Looks like a great IPA in the glass. Wow, orange juice, very juicy. There's a little bit of an earthy note with this one. There's some tropical fruit in there as well. I can still smell, but change of seasons have, I don't know, like all the leaves falling off the trees and everything has kind of been giving me a runny nose lately. There's a little bit of, it's almost like passion fruit. It's hard to place, but, or dragon fruit even. It's got like a really interesting fruit character to it on the nose. At 10% alcohol, I can say that it's definitely not presenting as a high alcohol beer. So some tangerine citrus, some tropical fruit, some questionable tropical fruit. Not in the quality, but just I can't really figure out what it is that I'm smelling. Very sweet and, like giving me beach vibes. But I can't really, it's either dragon fruit or maybe a little papaya. There's some pineapple in there, the orange citrus, as I mentioned. Yeah, it smells delightful. Maybe a touch of a bready malt note, but it's like hop forward and juicy. Very nice. No alcohol presence, as I've already mentioned. It smells delightful. So, without further ado, let's get into this brew. Cheers. Oh, wow. Okay. Orange citrus. A little bit of that tropical, that like weird tropical fruit thing that I can't quite place. It's pleasant, but I'm having a hard time. It's like a hybrid of papaya and passion fruit and dragon fruit and God knows what else. It's just like a weird presentation with that. Some nice bready malt notes in the middle of the sip. There's almost a little bit of like a musty type quality with this one. Let me get another sip. No, it's not musty. It's a little pithy. It's a little bit on the pithy side. The finish, it's not super bitter, but you get a lot of like that grapefruit, that white, that pith, tangerine, grapefruit pith. So there is a good amount of bitterness to this one, which is probably a good thing considering that it's a 10% beer. It kind of balances it out so it's not cloyingly sweet because there is a lot of initial sweetness when you take that first sip. Yeah, this is interesting. The alcohol's very well masked. It's a nice flavor profile, but it's a little odd because I cannot place that fruit. There's something in there like dragon fruit, papaya. There's some kind of weird. It's not an off flavor. It's just I can't place it. But you know what? For me, there's almost too much malt character. So it kind of like when you get through that initial fruit burst, you get a lot of malt character. There's almost like a little bit of a caramel note with this one, which is that's almost a little bit off. It's not that old, but like the caramel malt is a little too rich for the tropical fruit and the hop notes that I'm getting initially. I feel like the malt notes are coming through a little bit heavy for this one. It's not bad at all. I mean, it's excellent, and the alcohol is masked exceptionally well. It's very smooth and easy drinking. But of the beers that I've been drinking recently with these IPAs, these double, the triple, juicy IPAs, it's just not quite up to par. I'm gonna go with a 91 with this one. It's excellent, but it's an A minus for me. I've had a lot better. I've had some really excellent triple IPAs lately as well. It's got a weird malt note that the more you sip on it, the more that it's almost like a caramel sweet type note that comes through, which detracts from the wheat bready malt notes. You don't really want a ton of like caramel sweetness with the malt profile on a double or triple juicy type IPA. It kind of detracts from that. It doesn't really work so well. The finish is nice. It's relatively juicy. The alcohol is non-existent on the swallow. It doesn't come through as a 10% beer. It's a delightful product. I definitely would recommend it, but yeah, it's on the lower end of an A for me personally. So 92 out of 100 for the Equilibrium MC Cube Triple IPA. Thanks again to Bumpy Road Brews for providing me with this beer. I really appreciate it. It is an awesome beer. It's just so difficult to really judge these things. You drink so many of them. There's so many great brews up here of the New England variety up in Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Maine, in New England. So there you have it, folks. Link to Bumpy's channel in the description below. Please go check him out if you haven't already. And that'll do it for this beer review, guys. 92 out of 100 for the MC Cubed Triple IPA from Equilibrium Brewing Company out of Middletown, New York. Buy it, try it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And we'll see you right here all in the next one. Until then, cheers, everybody.